What is one of the easiest, most effective, efficient ways of making money in crypto? It's going to be Launchpads. Yes, my friends, Launchpads. If you've ever wondered, how do I get in at the very beginning before the project becomes big so I'm getting at the lowest market cap? Launchpad was a massive innovation in the last couple of years or so. Polkastarter was one of the first, but that's what we're going to cover in today's video. But there's some exciting stuff happening in the space and I want to make sure you're aware. So if you like today's video, hit the like button, subscribe, hit the bell notification. If you don't know who I am by now, my name is Jagir. I'm the award-winning author of The Extraordinary New Venture Capital Opportunity, How to Invest Like a Pro. I've also been featured in the best-selling book, High Probability Trading Strategies, back in 2008. Been trading crypto for a few years now, but currencies I've been doing over 15 years, and I bring that knowledge and wisdom to crypto. So what we're gonna do is dive in. Just want to cover a couple of lessons actually, because most people don't understand the concept of business and business growth and why tokens or companies appreciate in value. So this is something that I put together a little while ago, and I think you'll find it very, very beneficial. So let me just pull out my laser. Right up here on the left-hand side, the vertical axis is going to be market cap. Right, that's the amount of value that's locked into the project, right? So in terms of tokens. And then on the bottom is business growth, right? It's really time, right? The horizontal axis is around time. And as time goes on, companies tend to grow. So what we're looking to do here is just do a quick example of a company starting out at zero and getting to $1 billion market cap. What's that? What's the visualization? How can you visualize that? And what are you thinking when you're investing in a crypto project? Because it's not just about the speculation of price. If we want to see what's happening on a grander picture. So how I visualize it in my mind, it's like a baby, it's like a seed, and the seed is being planted for the first time. That's when it's an idea, minimal viable product, very, very raw proof of concept. It's a white paper, there's a strong team behind it, there's some backing behind it, but it's really, really young. So the risk is higher. The risk of the seed not surviving is relatively high. But the reward, if it's starting out at near zero, the reward, the upside potential is higher. And that's when I call it retail venture capital. It's where you can get involved as a venture capitalist in the crypto space, because this was never available to us before. So as an example, right, let's just say the project's already listed, but it's young still, and it's around 10 million market cap. And we believe it gets to 1 billion market cap. Well, the upside potential is 100x, right? With the mathematics. And that's how you want to be thinking. What's the upside potential? In percentage terms, that's 10,000% return. Now, if you get into a project that's a bit more mature, been around for, in crypto land, been around for 6 months is a bit more mature. It's crazy because crypto's only been around for, 12 years now, 2009. So been around for a year, 2 years, maybe even 6 months, a bit more mature than just the idea phase. It's grown a bit more. It's got a bit more proof of concept. Therefore, the market cap tends to be higher because there's more people buying the token and there's more value locked in. So the upside potential from where it is to get into $1 billion market cap is less, but still amazing. 50 million to $1 billion is actually a 20x, right? That's 2,000% return. We've seen that happen in January, February this year with many projects. And we should see that happen again toward the latter part of 2021, right? And that's what we want to be looking for. Then again, a bit more, we can reduce the risk by investing in a more mature project again. But again, the market cap will be higher. So the upside potential tends to be less. However, the risk also tends to be less. And that's where you can build your own investment plan. If you haven't got a high appetite for risk, no one wants to lose money, but an appetite to accept the risk of major drawdowns and major fluctuations, you go for more mature projects, but then you can go for earlier projects as well, and you can get a mixed, diverse portfolio. So again, in this example, going from 250 market cap, which is here, to $1 billion market cap is a 4x, 400%. Not saying the $1 billion is the ceiling, but we're just using that as an example of if you invested at seed stage, which is like really young or a bit more mature, you'll see that the room for upside potential is changed. And then when the project is like much more mature, let's say it's Bitcoin or it's Ethereum or it's Polkadot, it's in the top 10 already, right? It's got a bigger market cap. Let's just say it had a market cap of 500,000. So not 500,000, 500 million, 500 million, right? Well, the upside potential to $1 billion is a 2x, right? 200%. So this is what you can get your head around. But what I wanted to cover today was Launchpads, right? How do you get in even before 10 million? Because there's people that invest and get in at less than $1 million market cap, less than $500,000 market cap, and even less than $200,000 or $100,000 market cap. So all of a sudden, the upside potential goes through the roof, right? But also, you want the security to mitigate against risk, because we don't want to be just investing in anything, right? That's what I'm going to share with you today. What I'm going to share with you today, these are the technical terms, by the way, in the traditional world, in finance. If you look at the bottom here, this stage, when it's really, really early, is only normally available to venture capitalists and angel investors. Think of Dragon's Den and Shark Tank, right? It's only available. Same as seed round or Series A, Series B is normally only available to the early guys. And then Series C or IPO is when it becomes available to the general public. That's when Facebook or so gets listed. That's when Amazon gets listed. Then the public can buy shares on a public stock exchange. Whereas here, one of the beauties of crypto land is the cycle's been reversed. We can actually get in at the very beginning. So what I'm going to share with you today, I just kind of emphasized, getting in more mature projects is lower risk and lower return. Getting in at the younger projects, it's higher risk but much higher returns. So you have to kind of decide what's right for you. All right, I've drew a square here because I'm always looking for the younger project, right? I'm a bit more on the aggressive side. So we're going to look at IDOs, initial Dex offerings. That was an evolution of IPOs with stocks and shares, initial public offerings. 2015 was the revolution of the ICOs, initial coin offerings. And that's now evolved into IDOs, IEOs, STOs. IEO stands for initial exchange offerings, but we're going to focus on initial Dex, initial decentralized offerings. So when the coin gets released and then it gets listed on one of the decentralized exchanges, PancakeSwap, Uniswap. You can access both via 1inch. So that's what we're going to look at. Yeah, brilliant. So one of the websites, I'm going to storm through this. There's a website called CryptoRank.io. CryptoRank.io, and at the top it says IDO, IEO. If you click on IDO platforms and you click, this comes up and it gives you a list of launchpads. And it just tells you some of the best performing launchpads. You got Polestar, you got DAOmaker, you got BscPad, Ignition, Duckstarter, Bounce, Pulse, Zendit, da-di-da-di-da. So there's two mechanisms that you need to be aware of if you want to get involved in launchpads. Some have guaranteed allocation mechanism, some have a lottery system mechanism, and some have a dual mechanism of both. Both have pros and cons. So Polestar, for instance, and DAOmaker are a lottery system. You have to have a certain amount of tokens, and for Polestar, for instance, every 250 tokens you have, you get one lottery ticket. You get put into a raffle, random selection. If your lottery ticket gets picked, you get allocation. If it doesn't, you just have to wait for the next listing, and so on and so forth. DAOmaker, different model, but kind of similar. But what I'm going to focus on today is BscPad and its sister, TronPad. Yeah, I'm going to cover two things with you today, because from a user experience, I think they're the best. There is some upsides and downsides in terms of it can be quite expensive to get involved, but let's just cover the BscPad. So I'm going to jump onto their website. So this is their website homepage. BscPad is the first decentralized IDO platform for Binance Smart Chain network. So it's listing companies on the Binance Smart Chain. And if we scroll down, it tells you the memberships. It said, look, we've got 6 memberships. We've got bronze, silver, gold. We've got platinum, diamond, blue diamond. What's the difference? Well, you need, first of all, 1,000 tokens for bronze. You need 5,000 tokens for gold. You need 25,000 for diamond and 75,000 tokens for blue diamond. You might be thinking, well, what's that going to cost me? Just look at straight at the price and then look at the value second in this scenario. So BscPad is at a massive discount. At its highest price, it was, I think it was like 7. Let's have a look at the all-time high. All-time high for BscPad was $7.44, right? So to get 1,000 tokens would have cost you $7,500. Today's price, just because of the market conditions, is 85 cents. I cannot believe it. It's 85 cents. It is unbelievable. It is so cheap, so cheap. So just know the price is really, really low. It's the lowest it's been since launch. Like, it's really, really low. Well, almost the lowest. The lowest it went to was, I think, 78 cents. Right, so you can do the math. Right, straight away you can go, right, if I wanted a platinum membership, you need 10,000 tokens. If we just quickly do the math, because this is one of the biggest questions. I sometimes want to cover this first, because sometimes people love the idea of the Launchpad and then go, oh geez, I can't afford it. So I just wanted to kind of give you the heads up. 10,000 tokens at today's price of 0.85 is $8,500. Yeah, so you need those tokens, and there is a process. But we're not going to cover the process today, but And then Diamond. So you might be asking, do you get, okay, what's the difference between one membership and the other, right? Let me just zoom out. There's 6 different memberships. The main difference is the amount of allocation. In BscPad, all tiers are guaranteed allocation. Now, in my humble opinion, the bronze and the silver, though it's a good entry point, the allocations are quite small. So this one is only really worth it if you're in gold, platinum, and really platinum and diamond, where you get relatively significant allocations, because sometimes you're going to get $200 or $300 worth of allocation. You might be thinking, well, what's $200 or $300 going to do for me? Well, some of these IDOs, maybe not in these market conditions, some will, but especially in the bull cycle, when it's altcoin season and everything's really got that optimism going, you'll see a lot of 100Xs, 200Xs, 500Xs, and we've seen some of those already. So $300 with a 200X, let's just quickly do the math. It's all about return on investment when it comes to this. 100X, which is times 100, is 30,000. Yeah, so $300 to $30,000. And BscPad launches around 3, 4, sometimes 5 new projects per week, right? So you can kind of do the math yourself. So now just look at the process, and then I'm going to cover their sister company. I'll call it a sister company. I'll tell you why in a second. So the projects, how it works is there's 3 sections to the website. When you click on projects, they've got the projects now open, the projects that are coming soon, and then you scroll further down, and the projects that have been in the past, projects that have closed. So you can just see the performance. So some of these, the best performing one recently, by far, well, actually, let's just talk about, there was one that did quite well, which was Cross Wallet. Cross Wallet is looking to solve the problem of not having multiple wallets of MetaMask, TronLink, your Binance Smart Chain wallet is making the whole ecosystem user experience all under one umbrella. And that did, I think it was like an 80x upon launch. It did go to a certain price, it's hovered back down. Still a really great project, still worthwhile looking at, even as it is now. But the one that really just exploded, like even in these market conditions, was TronPad. TronPad did like a 250x. Yes, my friends. So if you was in one of the top tier allocations, that's the wrong button, I want my calculator, this one here. If you was in one of the top tier allocations, you would have got a minimum of around $250 worth of tokens times 250x is 62,000. And I know some people would have got around $700 worth of allocation times 250x is 175,000 return. So you kind of see the returns because of that VC model. Remember what I showed you earlier, which was this over here. We're looking to get in at the young part. So when they're already listed, 10 million is actually a really young project. But IDOs are like $100,000 to $200,000 market capitalization. So that's where you have to kind of go, if I can afford the membership, should I put that as part of my strategy? Only you can decide. But I just wanted to make sure you're aware of these beautiful things called Launchpads. So should you buy a BscPad? Well, someone asked me that recently. I said, look, you can buy a BscPad, but it depends on how much money you have, right? Because the membership is, let's just do the math. Let's just do some math because I want to make sure everyone is aware of what's available to them. Let's just say you was going to buy the platinum membership. So we already figured out today's price, which is discounted, by the way, because a couple of weeks ago it was $1.50 or $1.30, which so platinum would have cost you $13,000. Today it will cost you $8,500. That's just the nature of the game, right? TronPad is the sister to BscPad. Why do I say that? Well, Justin Sun, who's the CEO founder of the Tron blockchain, powerhouse blockchain, right? Tron, I didn't really take Tron too seriously since I've been involved in this space. But I've been using Tron. Tron is amazing. Tron is fast, it's cheap, and it's really built for entertainment. Entertainment, gaming, fast transactions, cheap transactions. So Justin Sun, the CEO of Tron, came to BscPad and said, look, love what you guys are doing for the Binance Smart Chain. Love the volume of new projects, the liquidity that's coming to the new projects, the market, the retail investors that are coming to the new project. Love what you're doing. Would you do the same for the Tron blockchain? That gave birth to TronPad. So now BscPad are also running as a company, the TronPad. And as you'll see, let's just click on the TronPad website. It looks exactly the same, right? It's a carbon copy. Why is the same company, the same team that's running it, the same user experience? It is absolutely phenomenal as a user experience. So TronPad is the first launchpad built on the partnered on and partnered with the Tron network. First Launchpad for Tron, but it's the first native, thumbs up from the CEO founder of the Tron blockchain. So let's just have a look at the memberships. They've triggered it slightly differently because what I know is that BscPad, which have great customer service, whatever your experience has been, my experience has been, they really love great user experience. What they've realized is a lot of people are annoyed when they have their bronze membership and silver membership. Why? I had it when I started with the bronze membership, and I got with BSC Station, which was one of their launch pads, which did 120x. But as a bronze member, I got $16 worth of allocation, right? Which is quite annoying in a sense if you think about it. Because this was when I bought this one when it was like nearly $4.50. For $4.50 for 1,000 tokens is $4,500. So you can get almost the platinum for that same price, which is ridiculous. So if we go, I got $16 worth of allocation times 120. That was within the first 2 weeks. Did 120x. It's like under $2,000, which is great. Turning $16 into $2,000. But I was like, oh man, it would have been great if I could have got $500 allocation or $1,000 allocation. So what this isn't just my interpretation of what they've done, is from their experience now, listening to us, the community of BscPad, saying bronze, silver, gold, people are not that happy because they're getting small allocations and they're doing the best because the companies that are raising capital, they're raising only like $100,000, $200,000 and really building the community through the Launchpads. So BscPad that's now launched TronPad has used like a dual system. It's realized the power of the lottery system that PokerStarter uses. So it says, look, the lower tier, we're going to use the lottery pool, which is, they call it Earth, right? Every 15,000 tokens that you have on TronPad, you get a lottery ticket, right? And you get into a pool. I like that. Why? Okay, it means you don't get in on every IDO. However, if you do get in, you're going to get a decent allocation, right? And that's the beauty of the lottery system. You might not get in every time. However, the more tickets you hold in the volume of 15,000, eventually when you get in, you'll get a decent allocation. And if the project performs well, it will make a significant difference to you as an early investor in that project. And then they have their other 3 tiers. The Sun tier was just released recently, around a week ago. But there's Moon, Mars, and Sun. You need 50,000, 200,000, 500,000. And I know what you're thinking. Wow, did you get BscPad's a lot cheaper, right? Because you only need 75,000 for the top tier blue diamond, and on TronPad you need like 50,000. However, TronPad, we got to look at the price, so it's all relative, right? TronPad's price today is 8 cents. Okay, it's been, when it did a 250x, it went to around 40 cents per token. It launched at 0.0015, give or take. So even now it's sitting at an 80, 90x, give or take. But it's at a huge discount. Like, look at the price. It's almost at its all-time low. Its all-time low has been, let's have a look, 7.2 cents. 7.2 cents. So you can go, right, what's the guaranteed? I prefer the guaranteed allocation because I don't like the lottery systems, for obvious reasons. Where am I going? Here we go. Let's just pull this back up. So let's just do some quick math for you. The Moon membership, at today's price, let's just say it's a bit higher than what it is. Let's just say it's 9 cents because price does tend to fluctuate naturally with all cryptocurrency. So you go 0.09 times 50,000. So you can get your guaranteed allocation with $4,500. If you're not in a position to do that, you can say, actually, do you know what? I can just get started and upgrade later. You can get a lottery ticket if you win the lottery in terms of your lottery ticket, and you get in and you make some good returns. You can then use that to upgrade. So you come up with your own strategy. But let's just do the math here. You need 15,000 tickets for one lottery ticket times 0.09. So 1350, and it gets you to use the platform, experience the platform, and it's also a lot cheaper to get involved. So the cheapest one on BscPad, as we saw, was 1,000 tokens. I guess at today's price is maybe cheaper here because it's $850 because it's 80 cents, 90 cents at the moment, which is unbelievable. And here, so you can just decide. And the top tier, 500,000 tokens, if we just do the math, 500,000 tokens, 0.09 is $45,000, right? So only you can decide, whatever position you're in, you can put this into your strategy or say Launchpad's not for me. I just want to make sure you're aware that Launchpad is a real thing, it's a big thing, and it's happening. So let's just finish off with the projects that are launching on TronPad. You'll notice the first 3 or 4 are launching on BscPad and TronPad. So if we just look at the projects that have closed, there we go. Projects that are coming soon, projects that have closed, you'll see that Cross Wallet is also on TronPad. That was its first IDO. It did an 8090X. Poker, I think did a 20X, I think it was at its high, which was pretty decent. But the next one that's launching this morning, I'm doing this video on the 1st of July, is launching at 9 a.m. is Swaps. Now, if we just click on Swaps, no, in fact, let's not click on Swaps. Let's just go to the Telegram group. I want to just quickly show you this, just to give you an idea of the thinking. Often, some of the projects put together what's called a moon sheet. You know, let's compare Swaps to its competitors. And if it performs as well as its competitors as they are today in their market capitalization, what would the return be? So Swaps, I think the starting market cap of Swaps, if you see in the top right hand corner, is $135,000, which is incredibly early and incredibly young, incredibly tiny, but it's a powerhouse of a project. And it's, in fact, let's just jump on the website. Let's just quickly do it 2 ways actually. Let's just jump on the website very quickly, because I just wanted to show you the utility of the token is the zero slippage decentralized exchange. Say goodbye to slippage, seamless user interface, blockchain agnostic. So Swaps is 100% open source and compatible with Ethereum, Binance Smart Chain, and Veles blockchain. I'm not familiar with Veles. I'm gonna have to look into that. So basically what they're saying is, you know, rather than just Uniswap being Ethereum, PancakeSwap being Binance Smart Chain, Pangoli being Avalanche, and so on and so forth. QuickSwap, I think it is on the Polygon blockchain, which is the layer 2 on the Ethereum blockchain. It's saying it's going to do all in one, a better, easier user experience with zero slippage. Slippage is a big deal because you can buy at a price and it can move in terms of 1% because the transaction can be a bit slow. And that means if you're buying significant amounts, it really does affect your price in tokens. So I just want to go. So what will happen is later on today, you'll see here, it says this particular IDO opens in 9 minutes when I'm filming this. You get the great thing of the guaranteed allocation, people that have got the guaranteed allocation, is you get like a 4 or 5 hour window to just say, this is how much your guaranteed allocation is based on your membership and how much is available. Take as much of it as you wish. Click, 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 done. And then later on in the day, does this, oh, it lets me open it up, great. Here, I can show you in more detail now. Here, it tells you here, it opens at 8 a.m. UTC time, which is 9 a.m. UK time. And you have until 1:55 p.m. UK time to take your tokens. And then anything that's not sold, they do a 1 hour first come first serve for people, and they give you another allocation, which is not guaranteed, it's just first come first serve. And it sells out like in 30 seconds. You have to be fast. You have to be fast. You get guaranteed, and then there's a first come first serve. And then they normally list on the same day. So there's normal listing on the same day, so you get access to your tokens. Some have a vesting schedule, and you can read that up in advance to say, look, to protect the price and the token utility, especially like the private members, like the higher tier members, you'll get a longer vesting period, meaning you get 20% of your tokens a day, and then 20% next month, 20% next month, and they have different models, and it's all on the blockchain. So there you have it. Launchpads. Check it out. Take it seriously. It's this, you know, here on the right hand side is where Ethereum is, all the top 50 coins, Polygon, Matic, you know, that's these big projects on the right. Kusama is a big beast of a project, you know, $1 billion market cap, less risk because it's got a lot more proven. But then you got these younger side projects which are already listed, like 10 million, 15 million market cap. But then there's these Launchpads, which are the future powerhouses. So let me just finish with one last thing actually, because some people just don't get this when I just want to make sure you get it. With TronPad, at its discounted price today, is 13 million market cap at 8 cents. So it's been 50 million market cap, you know, just a few weeks ago. I think it was on the beginning of June, 4th of June, right? It was less than a month ago. It was 50 million market cap. But when it launched, it was, I believe, it was around $100 to $150,000 market cap, right? So you can, that's why it did a 250x, right? So you're looking for the next TronPad 50x, 100x, 250x. But what's TronPad likely to do in peak bull season? What do you think? Like in peak bull season, in altcoin season, when the market, when Bitcoin is a lot more optimism and money's flowing in to strong project, what do you think it's going to do? Well, my hunch is TronPad's likely to get to like $1, $2. You know, just looking at the market cap, I got the likelihood is I can't see any reason why it wouldn't. Because also, one last thing actually, let me show you this. I'll show you this. Because tokens, it's all about the utility of the token. And with TronPad and BscPad, to qualify for the IDOs, you have to stake your tokens. You have to put them in a special account. It's like a special secure bank account, but it's on the blockchain. And they say, as an extra thank you, they will pay you, this once you stake your tokens, will pay you 15% APY. That means you're going to earn more TronPad tokens. Or if you've got BscPad, you're going to earn more BscPad tokens. Now, they do punish people for withdrawing. Punish in the sense of to protect the token price and people are not gaming the system of buying tokens, getting the IDO, selling tokens, waiting, buying tokens, getting the IDO. They want to protect long-term, hodlers, holding on for their life, regardless of the price action, is there's a 7-day withdrawal period. Meaning, if you staked your tokens, you qualify for your IDOs, you're getting 15% APY, but for some reason you want to sell your tokens, you can withdraw whenever you like, but then there's a 7-day lock-in period, meaning you have to wait 7 days and you can't do any IDOs in that period, and just so you're aware of that. And that protects token holders and stops people gamifying, because some other platforms you can gamify it a bit more. So there you have it, TronPad. I think I've covered everything. Launchpads, boom. There's a few other Launchpads, but BscPad and TronPad are my favorite. So if you liked today's video, if you found it useful, let me know. Do you prefer BscPad? Do you prefer TronPad? Or do you prefer another Launchpad? What's your favorite? If you're involved in one, or what kind of tickles your fancy the most? Let me know in the comments below, and let me know if you want me to add any more lessons on how to use Launchpads. Because if you're doing it for the first time, it's simple but not necessarily easy because there's a lot of steps. So sometimes you have to kind of make sure you know what you're doing, especially if you're new to the blockchain decentralized space. So let's finish today on a quote. I found one of my old school books. It's called The Winning Investment Habits of Warren Buffett and George Soros. It was written by a guy called Mark Tier, and it was just hidden on my bookshelf. And some great quotes in it, some great lessons. So today, chapter 3 is keep what you have, right? So Warren Buffett, George Soros, and a gentleman called Larry Haight. I think I'm pronouncing that right. So these are 3 rules. So Warren Buffett, investing rule number 1, never lose money. Investing rule number 2, never forget. Rule number 1. Right. George Soros, just so you know, is one of the world's greatest old school technical traders. Survive first and make money afterwards. Survive first and make money afterwards. That's important. And let's go for Larry Haight. I'm not sure who Larry Haight is, but the quote's here. If you don't bet, you can't win. If you lose all your chips, you can't bet. So they're talking about capital preservation, risk management. Take it seriously, whether you're doing Launchpads, whether you're doing long-term buy and hold, whether you're doing trading, look after your money. Like, subscribe, hit the bell notification. Let me know. TronPad, BscPad, or is there another Launchpad that you prefer? Let me know. All right? See you soon.